Once upon a time, in a small fishing village along the coast of eastern Nigeria, there lived a fisherman named Obieze. Every morning, before sunrise, Obieze would take his small wooden canoe out to sea in hopes of catching enough fish to feed his family. But day after day, Obieze returned with barely a fish or two in his net. One morning, as Obieze paddled his canoe on the calm blue waters, a beautiful young mermaid suddenly emerged from the sea. Her skin glowed a radiant brown, and her hair flowed like seaweed. "Kind fisherman, I have watched you struggle day after day without much luck. If you cast your net one more time, I promise you will make a great catch today," the mermaid said to Obieze with a warm smile. Obieze was stunned by the mermaid's beauty and shocked she knew of his fruitless fishing attempts. Without hesitation, he cast his net into the water once more. When he pulled it back up, Obieze could not believe his eyes. The net overflowed with huge wriggling fish of all shapes and colors. He had caught more than enough to feed his family for a week. Obieze was overwhelmed with joy and thanked the mermaid profusely for her help. As he paddled back to shore with his incredible catch, thoughts swelled in his mind. How could he find this mermaid again and convince her to keep helping him? His family could eat like kings every day with her assistance. The very next morning, Obieze purposefully steered his canoe back to the exact spot where he had met the mystical mermaid. To his delight, she emerged from the depths once more. "You have returned, kind fisherman," she said in her melodic voice. "Yes, I have. Thanks to your help yesterday, my family had a feast. Please, could you lend me your magic again today?" Obieze asked eagerly. The mermaid was happy to assist Obieze once more. Again, at her instruction, he cast his net and pulled up a bounty of huge flopping fish. This routine continued day after day. Each morning, Obieze sought out the mermaid and she granted him an abundant catch. Soon, Obieze's family was thriving from the steady supply of fish. Obieze himself grew fat and cocky. But Obieze became worried. What if the mermaid decided to stop helping him? He would go back to being the worst fisherman in the village. Obieze decided he needed to make sure the mermaid never left him. One morning, Obieze brought the mermaid a beautiful necklace made of cowrie shells. "Please take this gift as a token of my gratitude," he told her. "I also must confess, I have fallen in love with you." The lonely mermaid was deeply moved. No human had ever courted her before. She gladly accepted the gift and Obieze's profession of love. From then on, the mermaid's loyalty to Obieze was secured. Each morning, she eagerly helped with his fishing and then spent the rest of the day playfully swimming beside his canoe as he rowed back to shore. But Obieze had lied. He had no affection for the mermaid. His wife, Chinwe, patiently awaited him at home every evening to clean and cook his cash. One day, the mermaid appeared before Obieze, her belly swollen in pregnancy. Joyfully, she told him, "We are going to have a baby." Obieze feigned delight, but secretly hatched a sinister plot. When the baby was born, he would kidnap it and present it to the villagers. Legend said that anyone who possessed a male baby could be crowned king. When the mermaid went into labor, Obieze brought aboard a midwife, telling her to keep the birth a secret. As the mermaid writhed in pain, the midwife delivered a healthy baby girl with a human torso and a fish tail. Exhausted from the birth, the mermaid fainted. Seizing the opportunity, Obieze grabbed the newborn and sped back to shop. The midwife tried to stop him, but he threatened to kill her if she interfered with the scheme. Back on land, Obieze was met by the town chief and a crowd of villagers. It was just his luck. The town crier had been announcing for weeks that whoever captured the mermaid would be crowned the new king. Triumphantly, Obieze presented the crying male baby to the stunned crowd. The chief examined the child and declared, "You have fulfilled the legend. You shall now be King Obieze." A lavish coronation ceremony was scheduled for the next full moon. Obieze strutted through the village, shaking hands and accepting praise, all while the kidnapped male baby whimpered in the background. Meanwhile, the mermaid awoke on the seafloor, weak and sore from birth. She panicked when she could not find her child. Obieze was nowhere to be seen. It did not take long for the heartbroken mermaid to realize Obieze's deceit. He had stolen their child and abandoned her. She wailed in anguish, cursing the fisherman she had once loved. "Obieze, you will pay dearly for this treachery. I curse you to never sleep a night in peace for as long as you live." Back in the village, Obieze's coronation day arrived. All the villagers gathered to witness Obieze be crowned king of the land. But as the chief lowered the jewel-encrusted crown onto Obieze's head, an ominous wind suddenly howled through the sky. Dark clouds rolled in, and the villagers gasped as Obieze's handsome face transformed before their eyes. His skin wrinkled, his back hunched, and his hair turned stark white. In mere moments, the robust, virile fisherman had aged 50 years. The shocked crowd turned silent. Obieze crumbled to the ground, wheezing and clawing at his chest. The aging curse had been cast. Later that night, as Obieze lay in bed, exhausted, he found he could not sleep. His eyes remained wide open, staring into the darkness. The same thing happened the next night and the night after that. The mermaid's curse had come true. Obieze would never again experience a night's rest. Dark circles hung under the former fisherman's eye. He roamed his palace hallways aimlessly through the night, now that sleep evaded him. His wrinkled hands shook with fatigue and hunger pangs, racked his weary body since he no longer had the strength to feed himself properly. The helpless male baby Obieze had kidnapped became a reminder of his cruelty. Her constant shrill cries grated on his nerves and kept him up all hours of the night. Before long, Obieze relinquished his crown and fled the village to escape the torment of his sleepless nights. He took to the sea in his small canoe, half crazed from exhaustion. Many years later, a lonely fisherman spotted a strange man collapsed on a remote beach. Upon closer inspection, he realized the elderly castaway clinging to life was none other than Obieze. In his final breath, Obieze pleaded for forgiveness for all he had done wrong. He confided in the fisherman the sinister tale of how he had betrayed the mermaid who once loved him. With his last ounce of strength, Obieze instructed the fisherman to return his bones to the sea so he could rest in peace. Moments later, Obieze died on the sand, finally able to sleep at last. The kind fisherman buried Obieze overlooking the crashing waves per his wishes. He said a prayer for the tortured soul, hoping he would find redemption in the afterlife. As for the merbaby, she was rescued by a sympathetic village who raised her like a daughter. She grew up happily unaware of her true origins or the fate of her doomed parents. The villager warned the mermaid girl to keep her fishtail hidden from others, for there were plenty who might do her harm in their quest for power and riches. So each night, under the glow of a full moon, the mermaid girl swam freely, and the sea creatures gathered to hear her melodic voice sing tales passed down to her of a greedy fisherman who betrayed the mermaid he had once claimed to love.